Good morning, all. Oof, I had a lot come to me. I did not sleep well, but I had so much come to me. So much come to me over the evening, overnight. I really did. And just seeing the big picture now, kind of everything, and seeing how I need to move and operate, just in regards to everything. And so I'm gonna try to explain it in layers. So I wrote, there's a new sheriff in town, Amanda. New Amanda in town. Yeah, the old Amanda, man, if you had problems with her, you're really going to have problems with me. Seriously. I've gotten to the place too where I've come to terms with the shadow banning and the TikTok bans and all this stuff and my censorship. I think it's comical on my algorithm and things that I see people, talk about all that they've endured. And, and I love that. I want people to talk about everything they've endured, but their accounts fly. They fly high. And I've been at this for well over a year, and I'm on my 6th account. And it's just like my YouTube and my Facebook and my Insta. I'm talking my views it'll go like this. There's stages, okay? There's layers to this, you see? And it'll go from 0 views. I'll either get 0 or 1 views. And that'll go for about a month, all right? And then when they're like, okay, we're gonna give her a little slice, then it'll start where I'll put out videos and I'll get like 95 private accounts, private views. And so that be that. And so it's one of those things, I'll go with it. I'm not here for the monetization side of it. And I'm not here for clout. I'm not here for none of that. I don't want none of that. I speak truth. I speak it from a place of inner knowing and an understanding. And I put it out into the world, into the ethernet, for it to land where it lands and help who it helps. And that's just kind of how it's going to be moving forward for now. But a couple of things. So in my life, I adopted at a very early age when to learn when to speak and learn when to be quiet. And that really kind of stemmed from as a child when I was molested, and it was shushed and not believed and pushed under the rug. And so at a very early age, I learned that some things, unfortunately, happen and nothing comes of it. And does it make it right? Does it make it okay? No, not by any means, but it happened. I still experienced it. And so often enough, I think that this happens to all of us, where we go through a horrible experience, we go through a trauma, and because nothing comes of it, whether that's a conversation, accountability, therapy, nothing comes of it. And so it's as if it never happened. Right? It just kind of gets erased from your memory. Like, for example, the Charlie Kirk assassination, right? It happened. It, by golly, did happen. We all saw it, right? But we saw what they wanted us to see. And then when the investigation started to transpire and people started to tap into the true side of the narrations of what was happening behind the scenes, is when things started getting hairy, when you start asking those questions, right? And similarity to me, it's been very similar to that. My entire life, up until I resigned from that company in October 23, I was very easily controlled. I was very easily swayed. I was very easily ignored. And I was very, very good at whatever craft I was in. At the time, I was in property management, but I'm very, I was good. There was a lot of things that people could gain from me in my life, whether that's family, friendships, or business colleagues or the business I work for. They just could. They could and they did. Period. Period. Dot it. Move it on. And I know that. But I was very easily controlled. And I'm well aware of that too. But I learned in that industry, along with my life, there's just some things where you just need to be quiet. Some things are not meant for you to say out loud that you do know is transpiring around you. Because you just don't know the intentions of everyone around you until they truly show you. You see, I learned that as well. That unfortunately, in the world that we live in, there are a lot of fake moving people, a lot of people that carry false facades and move with ill intent. Ill intent. And until you allow people to show you who they truly are, you don't know who they are. You don't know who they are. And so sometimes in this game called life that they've all easily constructed for us, and they know it, right? You got to learn how to play the fool with a fool. You got to learn how to play aloof when to play aloof. You got to learn how to be quiet when it's time to be quiet. Because it's not always the loudest person in the room that is the dangerous one. It's the one that has the ability to stay quiet when they know that they're being messed with ill intent. And I think that we're all learning how to kind of move and operate in that based off everything that's transpiring around us. Because you have people that move with very ill intent right now that have a lot of power. Okay? And if you're not careful with your energy and your surroundings, in your heart and your mind, people are going to take those things and they're going to spin it around, and it's going to be to your detriment. It just is, because we are in an era right now where people can very easily siphon from you. They can siphon your energy, they can siphon your thoughts, they can siphon your feelings. And if you live in a world without peace, it's because you're allowing people to take your peace. Okay? And I had to learn that the hard way. And I want to help people learn how to build a world of peace in a world that doesn't want to provide you peace. Okay? Because at this point in the venture, when it comes to our economy, when it comes to money, when it comes to those in power, when it comes to the elites and the control that they carry, that's not going to change overnight. I don't see it changing in a few years, to be honest with you. You know, and I hope that's not the case. I hope for all of our sakes, but I mean, the reality is the reality. And so seeing as we recognize that this is a world that we are living in right now, of course you can still advocate, you can still fight for the truth, you can still speak on things, absolutely. But it's about learning how to advocate and speak on things and stand for, justice and carry your morals, your values, and your integrity and your dignity and your grace. But it's also learning how important your peace is. Because when you take control of your reality and put your peace at the forefront, you then can take control of your power and your energy, which you're going to need to fight. To fight with using your voice, to fight against injustice, to fight for your voice and realize the experiences that you have been through. That was the biggest thing for me. That's what I was just talking to my mom about, is actually going through the course of my life, the last 10, 15 years, and replaying different things and be like, wow, those are experiences, Amanda, and they really did happen. They, by golly, did happen. People, places, and things, they happen. And it's like remembering them and replaying them and going through it from the different looking glass and being like, wow, this person at that mere moment was really playing a double life with me in reference to putting on a complete show with trying to create a scenario around me where I reacted in a certain way. And it was all just a ploy. Because at the time, in the moment, in the conversation, I knew it, but I couldn't quite figure out what was going on.